Hi guys, Naji here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, in this video, we will be discussing on an interesting topic, that is AWS Bedrock end-to-end project. So we have been discussing on different things with respect to Bedrock, its introduction, its basic usage, how to integrate with Bedrock. Okay, all those things are baby steps. Now we are going to implement, as I mentioned, we are going to implement a complete project. We will be using AWS Bedrock, then Lambda API Gateway, and we will be coding in a Visual Studio Code. So the objectives, we will be summarizing a text using AWS Bedrock. So in a client application, maybe here we will be using a Postman as our client application. We will be sending some paragraph, and our AWS Bedrock will be summarizing that into few lines of text. Okay, so that is our objective, and this is the architecture that we are going to implement. And we will have a client will be sending a prompt to our AWS service, and the prompt will be a paragraph or a big text data that will be sent to API gateway. So through API gateway we will be calling Lambda function, and within the Lambda function we will be calling our AWS Bedrock, and we will be specifically using AWS Mistral for in this scenario. Okay, so you guys can use any LLM available with AWS Bedrock and ensure that you have the permission in that particular model. Okay, so the Mistral will be summarizing data, and it will return to the summary will be returned to the client. Fine, and this is the high level architecture. Then anybody who's interested can watch this video, and there are something you must know. If you want to code along with me, so you must know few things. Okay, so one is like you must know about Python knowledge, and you have to have a AWS account and Bedrock permissions, and you need to know like how to create a IAM user, and basic knowledge is Lambda is good to have, and we will be doing a Visual Studio Code, and we will be using AWS SDK integrated Visual Studio Code. Okay, so ensure that you are familiar with this. Okay, otherwise you can just watch and understand the process, and if you want to code along with me, you just ensure that you have all those knowledge. And I have my playlist with all these contents, so I will be sharing in my description. Okay, so first we can go to the Visual Studio part. So we can start coding, and I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Okay, and here we have the AWS menus there. Okay, and this is my Lambda function. So here I'm going to create a SAM application. Okay, so all those things are discussed in my previous videos. Definitely I will be sharing that in my description, so please have a look on that. Okay, so here we have a Python 3.11. I'm selecting. I'm going to select a AWS SAM basic application. This is my folder, and here I can see YouTube Bedrock summarization. Okay, so this is my folder. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so this is created. Here we have a file explorer option. Just let me click on that. You can see the basic setup. Okay, I mean basic folder structure. We have events, we have a hello world folder. Here is this is our Lambda function that we are going to code. Okay, so this is our unit test. We will not be doing the unit test in this video. Okay, and template.yaml file. Okay, so this is an important one. Here we can see the code URL hello_world, the mapping with this particular folder. Okay, and here lot of places we can see the hello world. Okay, so hello world API, hello world functions, hello world function IAM role. So what we are going to do, we are going to change everything. Okay, let me copy and let me do a replace. Okay, so I'm going to replace this with YouTube summarization. Maybe let me make it caps. YouTube summarization. We can say Mistral summarization. Okay, so let me replace this. Okay, so we have all good. So we changed with the Mistral summarization API, Mistral summarization role, all done. Good. Now there is one more thing, this code URL. I want to change this also. For that, let me rename this to what we can rename Mistral summarization. Here also I can rename to Mistral underscore summarization. Okay, let me change this. So we are all good. Now let me make one more change. Okay, so this is the API gateway that we are going to create. Okay, and here the path name is hello. So let me change the path name to summary, and we will be using a post method. So here also, so this is the production deployment URL. Here also I can make it to summary. Good. So now we can push this basic code structure to our AWS console. So for that, what I will do, let me and here I want to show that I am using a AWS profile Mac demo. Okay, so let me go to my, let me clear this. Okay, something is not good here, so let me close this. So here we are in a AWS, you can see Bedrock Lambda folder, right? So we need to switch to YouTube Bedrock summarization folder. So let me type here YouTube summarization folder. Here when we do a list, we can see all our details. Okay, now what we can do, we can type the code sam deploy, ensure the spelling is correct, the profile that I am going to use Mac demo. Okay, so this asking for the stack name, let me enter this one, we are good. Yes, 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 it's also yes, it's also, oh sorry, I made a mistake. Let me close this. Sorry, let me clear it. Let me say it again. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so here the process is started. Okay, so internally it will ship all the content to our AWS Lambda functions, and it will create necessary user permissions, and it will create a API gateway for us. Also it will create a Lambda functions for us. Okay, so once this is done, we can go and check that. Okay, this may complete in couple of seconds, should not be taking much time. See what is happening here. You can see it's done. Okay, so it's done, and here we can see a API URL for us. So this is the API gateway is already deployed to our production environment. So let me copy this. And here we can go to the Postman. Okay, let me create a new session in Postman. I'm pasting this. Okay, let me click on this. Okay, it says missing authentication. Okay, so we can wait for some time. Close all those things. I'm closing some unnecessary things. Here I can paste it, and let me see, this is get or post, the template. Okay, the template is post and it says summary. Oh, sorry, so this has to be post, so let me change to post, and I am trying this. Should be a hyphen, let me see this. Oh, it again says let me see. Okay, it's working now. Okay, so there are some issues. Okay, so it's working and it's giving us a message, hello world. Okay, so you may be curious about how we got the message. Okay, so here so here in the app.py we can see this particular message, hello world. Okay, so this message is displaying here. Okay, so we are done with our basic thing, and AWS Lambda is there in our what we called in our API in our AWS console. So we can check those things. First, let me check with the API gateway. So here here we can see this is the Bedrock summarization. Okay, here we can see a post method. Okay, and also in Lambda we can go to the Lambda function. Lambda function, the name is YouTube Bedrock summarization, right? So this is our name. So here we can see the details. Here we can see the Lambda functions. Okay, and let me scroll it down a little bit. You can see the message. Yep, so this hello world, we can see that. Okay, now we can start integrating with our AWS Bedrock. For that, let me open the file. Okay, so here we can import few functions. Here I can import Boto3 can be imported. The JSON is already imported. Okay, so it's Boto3. In the requirement, maybe I can install, not needed anyway. Let me have the Boto3 also there in the requirement.txt file. Now we can create a client. So here I can create a Boto3.client. The client will be Bedrock runtime. Okay, so I'll be moving a little fast here because these things are already discussed in my previous videos. So here I can so what next? So here what we are saying, we will have a Postman client and we will be sending a JSON, something like this. Here we are sending a prompt, and I have something about the artificial intelligence. Let me copy this and I will sending this to, let me adjust this. Okay, so I will be sending this particular prompt to the AWS Bedrock or to our API, and we need to summarize it. Okay, so that is our task. So what we will be doing, okay, so we are expecting a prompt command here. So we need to extract this in our AWS Lambda function. For that, what we will be doing, we will be updating it here, content. Okay, we can get event dot get, let me get the body. Okay, just the indentation. Now from the body we need to get the input prompt. So here we will have a input prompt. For that we need to convert this string to JSON format. So let me convert this into content, and here we will have a prompt. Good. So we got the prompt. Now we can set up with the Bedrock. Okay, so here I can set applications.json, that is the content. Then we have the accept type, which is also application/json. Good. Now we need to have our model ID. Okay, so how we will get the model ID, we can see. So go to our AWS Bedrock, and here, okay, maybe just search for AWS Bedrock here, then go to base model. Here I am going to check Mistral. This is the model name that we are going to use. This is our model ID. I have got the permission for this model, so let me add it here. So model ID is ready. Now we can prepare for the body. Good. So here body, what we will do, we can do a json.dumps. Okay, within that we will be mentioning our prompt. Our prompt will be the input prompt. Then we can have a temperature. Then we can have our max top. Let me make it maybe 100 to save some money. Okay, so the body part is ready. Now we can start, we can invoke the model. Okay. So in the response part, I am going to call client.invoke model. Okay, here we can pass our model ID. Our model ID will be model ID. Our body will be, can have a body, and we can have a accept. This will be our accept type. Yeah. Then we can have the content. Content type will be content. Okay, so here we are calling the client. Let me save this. I don't know why this client is showing like this. Okay, so here we have a spelling mistake. Let me correct this to client. Good. Now, so once we receive the response, we need to get the actual data. This is actually a JSON structure. You guys can print it and we can see the structure of it, but I have already know what is the structure. Okay, this also explained in my previous video, so I am going to directly take this. Okay, so result, I can take response dot, I can take a body, so I can read it as a bytes. Now this can be converted to the JSON. So our final result will be JSON dot, I can load it. I can load the result. From the result I can take the outputs. Okay, so this is also a list. From that I can take text. Okay, so this is our output. Now let me return this final output to the client. Okay, so we are done with our coding part. Okay, I know it was a little fast, but we have to do a lot of things. So this is very simple. I explained it multiple times. We are getting the body or the prompt from the request body, then we are doing some configurations here, then we are calling the invoke model, then we are getting the response back. Okay, now we can execute it again. We are going to deploy it. Yes, 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 nothing. Okay, so the deployment is in progress. Initiating the deployment. So yeah, as I mentioned, it takes some time. You can see that. Okay, let me give yes here. Okay, it's progressing. So this is actually really cool. I can make any changes in my Visual Studio Code and I can just push that into the AWS server. Okay, now it is successfully done. Okay. Now we can go to our Postman. Now let me say that summarize the text in 2 lines. Good. Now let me send this. Okay, so we are getting an error that is called internal server error. Okay. So we need to debug this. Okay, so first what we can do, we can go to our Lambda function. So this is our Lambda function. YouTube summarization Mistral function. This is our Lambda function. In Lambda function, we can go to the monitor part. So we'll be doing step by step. Go to monitor. So click on the cloud watch logs. So all the requests to Lambda is logged here in the cloud watch. So let me open this. Okay, so this is the exception. So let me take this. Here this is saying when calling the invoke model operation, user. Okay, so this user door, this user, specific user, is not authorized to perform Bedrock invoke model. Okay, so we need to give some permissions for this one. Okay, so for that, what we can do, we can go to here, we can go to IAM. Let me go to IAM. Okay, here we can click on the roles. So I have copied that one, right? So this is our role. Okay, I copied it from the CloudWatch. Here it says, okay, details about the user that does not have the permission. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, so here we have only the permission AWS Lambda 1. So what I can do, let me attach a policy. I can give a Bedrock. I'm just giving this one for the time being. Okay, AWS Bedrock full access. That's it. Now add permission. The policies was successfully attached. Good. Now we can try it again. Okay, so this is a usual mistake that people will make. Okay, so I want to ensure that the whole process, everybody knows the entire process. Okay, so see, so this is execution is done. Okay, this is my paragraph, and it says this is discuss about history development. Okay, this seems to be good with respect to the 2 lines. It's giving a summarized data, right? So, so we are done. We are done with our project, and we can go and see the details here. So let me refresh it. Okay, maybe some summarization, and we can see log. Let me see. Okay, this is only showing the error part. Okay, forget it. So we have our Lambda functions there, we have our API gateways there. Okay, so we have manually added this particular thing, right? Okay, but I said that we have been using with respect to what we call template or YAML file, right? So we should able to provide these permissions through the template or YAML file, right? So for that, what we will do, let me delete this. Let me remove the full permission. Okay, now we can run the postman again. Okay, so now we are getting the internal server error, the same issue. Okay, so what I am going to do, here we have a template. Okay, within the template we will able to add few things. Okay, so let me see. I have something here in the node, so let me copy this. So this is from the tutorial. Okay, here let me paste it. Okay, now I have to make some changes here, so let me copy my role name. Okay, here I need to change my role, and here I need to change my role. Okay, that's it. So what we are doing, we are creating a role and we are giving the permission to that particular role. Okay, so here we can see the Bedrock access policy. So we are giving the invoke policy to the particular user. Okay, now one last time we can push this to the server. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, so please be patient. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so it's pushing data, uploading is not started yet, but yeah, it will. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, it is creating. It is not creating, it is actually updating the things. You can see that updating progress. In my first case, we saw that it's creating, right? So update is progress. Okay, so we can check our. Okay, this is our user access. Okay, once that is done, we can check the permission. Okay, so we are done. Now we can see here we can see a Bedrock access policy. Okay, now I can come here, I can send it again. Okay, see, it is working fine. So everything we can do using the AWS the SAM configuration or the template configurations, right? Fine. So I believe it's a little long video, but we have covered everything that we have planned. Okay, so we have done a text summarization using AWS Bedrock. So that is all about in this video. Please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.